Alright, so welcome to the video. If you're wondering how to get out of your timeshare, hopefully you'll find this beneficial. My name's Jason from From Vacation Fees. You might be watching this on our website, 2342 Horde Street, Madison, Wisconsin, 53704. Yes, in Madison, that's where the University of Wisconsin is located. I did graduate from there with an engineering degree. It's been a while now, so if this gets technical, that's why. I have an industrial engineering degree, and I tend to think a little bit technical, but I'll try to keep this very simple and straightforward. So if you want to get out of your timeshare, there are generally two scenarios that you're going to do, and I'm using my whiteboard here, so hopefully this is clear. But first I'll start out. So if you have a timeshare, not generally, but you're going to have a deed with that timeshare, okay, a deed of ownership, and generally people will have one deed, but sometimes two deeds or three deeds. And this happens when your company, your timeshare company, you call them and maybe you're not happy with your ownership, and what they always try to do is upsell you into something better, okay? And so when you get upsold, generally speaking, a lot of times what happens is they're going to attach another deed to that quote package, and so a lot of people wind up in bad situations with one or two or three deeds. Now there's some scenarios here. So scenario one, okay, and I'm going to make sure I'm in this video. Scenario one that we deal with, okay, is that you owe money. You owe money. Again, these deeds come with mortgages, as you know. It's similar to a house. You have a mortgage on that deed, and some people will owe $10,000. We've had people that have owed over $50,000, and I've even talked to people who have owed over $90,000 on these mortgages. So, but a common is between like $0 and $20,000, and so you owe money on the mortgage for the deed on your timeshare. So hopefully that's not too hard to understand. Now the other scenario would be very simply, and I probably should use a different color for this, but the other scenario very simply is scenario two. And make sure I keep this in the camera view. So scenario two is you do not owe money, okay? You do not owe money on that, all right? And so basically all you have is just a deed, and you've paid off your mortgage, all right? Now in both scenarios, you are going to have, and I'll write this one in black again, but in both scenarios, you are going to have a maintenance fee. Maintenance fee, okay, for both. And that right there is really what is keeping you. This is really why you want to get out of your timeshare, this maintenance fee. All right, and common maintenance fees are, generally speaking, anywhere from $600 all the way up, all the way up to $2,000, okay, for maintenance fees. An average is probably, around $1,200. Is from the people that we have spoken to, is probably around $1,200 in maintenance fees. So you're trying to get out of that basically. If you owe money, then you're trying to get out of that principal and interest payment on your mortgage too, because you're generally going to have an attached mortgage payment that is due monthly. Maintenance fees are generally due in January. Okay, so if you don't owe money, you just have the maintenance fee and the special assessments. If you owe money, you have a mortgage payment with principal and interest generally each month. So hopefully that's not too technical. It's pretty simple and straightforward, and generally no matter who you own with, that's going to be the common scenario. Okay, so how do you go about getting out with both of these? And these are the two scenarios that we specifically deal with, that our company deals with. So I'm just going to explain basically some of what we do, because a lot of people ask. So let's start with if you do not owe money. Okay, so generally speaking, and I'll go back to blue for this one. Generally speaking, what a lot of people try to do here is a lot of people try, just to sell it. Okay, and they'll try to go and they'll try to maybe recoup some of that initial investment. Maybe you've hired somebody to list it, and you've had no luck with that. Or maybe you've gone to eBay and you've just posted it there for free. A lot of people will go there and post it on eBay for free. It's the #1 listing site for timeshares. And generally speaking, what's going to happen in that scenario is you're just waiting for somebody to contact you back. Now, a lot of people will try to give away their timeshare there. They'll list it for like $1 or whatnot, but they're just trying to get out because they don't really have a mortgage in a situation of so they can just go there and try to dump the timeshare basically. Okay, when they find out that generally doesn't work, again, less than 1%. So it'd be less than 1% actually resell. And I think those are the current stats. It's getting actually worse than that. So that's 1 out of 100 actually resell. Okay. So generally when people find out they can't sell it, they're going to come, and most people have heard about a simple transfer, and they're going to try to transfer. And that's what we do specifically. We deal with transfer, okay, specifically. And all this is really straightforward. So transfer companies work a little bit different, but specifically how we handle it is we deal with our preferred transfer company, okay? So we actually refer, and there's benefits to this. We refer to our preferred transfer company. So if you call us, what we will do is we're just gonna refer. Now, generally the transfer companies are where people run into problems, okay, where they lose money and whatnot. So basically what we do is we basically protect, okay, your investment, because we only deal with a transfer company. We actually have a couple of them that we deal with who actually do not deal with the general public. They only work off of referral basis. Okay, we trust them, they trust us. So basically, if you call us, we will refer you, and then we will back that payment transaction. Okay, so you don't lose money, which is a good way to do it. A lot of companies you contact, well, they will try to handle a transfer in-house, but then if you have problems with that, okay, you're dealing with this specific company, and that's where you run into problems, because that's basically the way that big timeshare companies work. They do everything in-house, okay, and so they have departments, it's all coordinated, and that's how you have such a hard time getting your money back. With us, we basically put our name and our money on the line, so you will come to us, you will transact with us, and we pay our preferred transfer company, okay, which means if they don't get you out, we're on the line for the money, okay, which is a better way to do it. And referrals like that is nothing uncommon. You see it. I mean, Apple. If you have an iPhone, or maybe you have a Samsung, these companies do not build their own iPhones. They basically refer them out, okay, to a manufacturer who builds them to their specifications. Well, we're doing the same thing here. This is what we do, and we protect that. And it's also how we can get it cheaper than most transfer companies. So again, those are generally the two scenarios. Now, with your timeshare, generally speaking, is all you're going to do is you are basically going to go and sign a customer service agreement, okay, so to speak, just giving us and our preferred transfer company the right to remove your name from that deed, because in this situation, that's really what you're trying to do. You're just trying to remove your name from the deed, your ownership, so you can get out of this maintenance fee, okay? And now, the way this works is pretty straightforward. So generally speaking, what our transfer companies do, are they basically will try to market your timeshare, okay? And in the event that they're unable to market it, because again, it's not likely that it's going to sell. Again, less than 1% resell. It doesn't happen, but they're going to give themselves that opportunity. And generally speaking, they can't do that. Then what generally happens is that they will just take it over. Okay? And this is how most of the big transfer companies work. But generally speaking, this is how that process works. So a lot of people ask, well, what happens with these timeshares? Well, that's generally what happens. And there could be some other avenues in there, 3 and 4 with other various transfer companies. But generally, they're going to take it over, and you will get signed forms, okay, saying, hey, you're out of your timeshare. It will show the transfer of the deed, and so there's no worry there. You're going to get out of your maintenance fees. And generally, this process, okay, and I'm sure you've called around to other companies, generally this process is going to take anywhere from 8 months to 12 months. That is the general average of that process. So if you have a maintenance fee due, let's say now I'm shooting this in November, you have a maintenance fee due in January, okay, most likely you're going to end up paying that, okay, for the simple fact that if you don't pay your maintenance fees, as you know, the timeshare companies will generally ding your credit, all right, and that's what you don't want. So this is in the scenario of if you do not owe. That's the general process, the general time frame. Again, we work on a referral basis with preferred transfer companies, and then we back that. It's actually better to work on a referral. After being in this industry a long time, it's actually better because that's how we can basically guarantee your transaction and you can have a peace of mind. Okay, so let's go to the owe money scenario. So now if you owe money on your mortgage, it's a little bit different. And this is generally where people go about contacting an attorney, okay? Because an attorney deals in legal situations where it's not so straightforward, where you can't just get out doing this, okay? So generally speaking, again, you're trying to get out of that maintenance fee and your monthly mortgage payment, and generally this is where a lot of desperation sort of sets in because you owe so much money. You have that maintenance fee, that's whatever, $1,200 per year, and then you have your mortgage, okay? You have your mortgage payment on your deed. So generally speaking, people will contact attorneys for this, and many attorneys do a good job. Generally, that's the way the scenario works, and then they'll go about using legal, basically legal options to get you out. Now, we are not attorneys. This is not what we do. We do not provide legal advice. Basically, the way we sort of handle this, okay, is like, and let me go back to the black. Basically, the way this is handled is through consumer advocacy. Okay, so basically again, once again, we work with some very, very select. We've just built relationships over, the better part of the past decade. We work with some very select groups who handle consumer advocacy, okay, and so we will, once again, I want to make sure this is in the video. Once again, we will work on simply a referral basis. So if you contact us, basically what we're going to do is, again, we're going to secure this. So we work with some preferred companies who we trust. Okay, and so all we're going to do is we are going to take this, okay, you basically are going to pay us, and we are going to secure that with our preferred advocacy company, okay? Now let me explain to you how this works. So a lot of times, what's going to happen in the scenario of when you're sold your timeshare is you're going to get lied to, okay? I mean, let's face it. really the only way that people wind up in timeshares is because they are told things that are too good to be true. And so maybe your timeshare company, back when they sold it to you, they told you, oh, you can vacation anytime you want, but then, you find out that, options, you actually really have limited options. Okay, so maybe you want to go to that resort in December, but that's all booked up. And so again, if they told you that you can go anytime you want to, but then you're finding that over the years you really can't, well, that's an example of something that was too good to be true. It was a lie. And so an advocacy group basically will go about, and generally have a lot of knowledge in the timeshare industry. They'll go about through various methods, typically writing letters. They just know how to go about it, and they'll basically go about trying to get your money back, okay, trying to get you out of what you owe, okay, and out of your maintenance fee, and completely out of your timeshare, and you'll get documents saying you're out by basically using those lies, okay, and saying you were basically sold something under false pretenses. And again, this is generally the way that an attorney works. We are not attorneys. We don't provide legal advice, but it's I have to say that, but basically it's the way that an advocacy will work. And again, we work with a couple preferred advocacy groups. They don't work with the general public. They only work on referral. And we built a very trusting relationship with them. But it's the same scenario as over here. When you come to us, you will pay us. We will pay the company, the advocacy company. Okay, and so basically, our name is on the line. All right, and we guarantee this transaction. Our name's on the line, and so if you don't get out, again, generally speaking, we cover that money back. Okay, but going back here, a lot of people were sold under false pretenses. So bottom line is, you have limited options. Now there's a lot of other ones. Okay, they might have told you that, well, your fees will just never go up. Okay, and then you find out that your fees go up. They might have told you maybe that your maintenance fee was only going to be $600. Okay, and you found out that actually that maintenance fee is $1,200. Okay, these are common ones. Other scenarios, again, these are all things that they're saying that salesmen are telling you that you got in your timeshare. You found, well, that's not actually the way that it actually works, and so basically they lied to you, which 99% of timeshare salesmen, 100% probably, lie. That's the only way they can get people in to a situation where basically they are paying a maintenance fee and a mortgage, okay? So you're stuck using only that specific timeshare company, and that timeshare company has a limited amount of vacation options. They are limited. And so they have thousands of people who agree to this, but they don't have enough space. And so if it's explained that way, nobody in their right mind is going to pay money. And generally, you get people paying $10,000 and $20,000 down, and they get big mortgages and things like that. Well, nobody in their right mind is going to do that when they understand what a timeshare actually is. It's limited usership that locks you in via deed and yearly fees that keep going up. So to sell that, generally there's some lies told. All right, and so these are generally a lot of the ones they use. And to do this, maybe you got your timeshare through. Maybe you had a one-on-one meeting with a high-pressure salesman. Generally speaking, the way that timeshare companies do it these days, especially big ones, is they'll send out coupons or things for $200 weekend stays, contingent on you have to spend 45 minutes in a meeting, in a presentation meeting, okay? And so you'll go and you'll stay, but you'll find out within that presentation meeting, it's actually taking 4 and 5 and 6 hours, and that's what they do. They get you into meetings, and then they try to break you down, and they won't let you leave. And if you leave, then you forfeit that $200. They're going to charge you for the $200 for showing up, okay? And so that would be, you know, another example. That'd be example X down here on 4. Okay, so there's not a lot of ways that they go about. So the bottom line is, that's the general scenario if you owe money and you're stuck, because you're not going to really be able to sell. If you owe $10,000 or $50,000, nobody's going to buy your timeshare for $10,000 or $50,000 to get you out, to pay down that mortgage, okay, to get you out of your deed. It's a lot more complex situation than if you have it paid off. And so generally, you'll contact us, okay, over the phone, and then we use our preferred advocacy companies, and this is generally the process they use. Again, we're not attorneys. We have to say that. We do not provide legal advice. So I encourage you, you know, to contact an attorney, to ask them about the process. I encourage you, but this is the way we do it generally, okay? Now, in terms of pricing on everything, so a lot of companies don't want to say their pricing, but I don't really have a problem telling you what the pricing is, okay? So the bottom line is that yes, it is going to depend on your situation, because these situations are not the same situations, okay? Generally speaking, what companies do, okay, and let me get a different color for this. I think I have a different color around here somewhere. I'll just use this one again. Oh, here it is. So generally speaking, okay, for pricing, and I'm just going to write it right here, okay? So if you do not owe, okay, generally speaking, it's going to depend on who you owe with as to the process. A lot of people will have points with their timeshare. That really doesn't make any difference. Our process does not depend on your maintenance fees. So a lot of companies will ask you, well, what do you owe in maintenance fees? And it just doesn't, this is not going to affect the price at all. So we generally don't ask your maintenance fees, but if you want to tell us, whatever. So generally speaking, the cost of this is a range, and generally speaking, that range is anywhere from right around $2,400, okay, on up to about the $2,900 range. Again, it's a little bit floating, but generally speaking, that's what it is. $2,400 to $2,900 for this, and that's pretty reasonable in the grand scheme of things, because most companies if you call an attorney or whatnot to get out, most companies are going to charge you an average of anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000, okay, to get out, and we're generally in this range, this $2,400 to $2,900 range, and we do offer monthly payments as well. So you can ask us about that. We offer a percentage down in monthly payments. It's no principal, no interest on those payments, okay? And the general pricing over here is similar. So I don't need to go through it again. It is similar over here. Again, we work with you on pricing and offer monthly payments, but you know, we feel like we should just tell you what the price is going to be, so you know before you contact us. But these are generally the two scenarios that we go through. Our options are guaranteed in both scenarios. It's a money back guarantee. So if you do not get out, and again, we put this rate in our agreement, you get your money back. And again, in both scenarios, the benefit is we work on a referral basis. We will refer out to our preferred companies, who we trust, who we have long-standing relationships with, and then we back that. So our name is on the line, basically, in the scenarios. Again, it's going back to Apple doesn't manufacture their own iPhones, all right? They refer those out, and that company who manufactures them is on the line to produce them to the specifications they require. A lot of bigger companies don't do this. they try to handle everything in-house. And so when you give them your money, there's nobody outside. They are basically funneling all your calls into them, and then they can give you the go around with that. And it's the same way timeshare companies work. Big companies that do everything in-house, they're harder to deal with because they train their people basically, hey, we don't want to give this money back. And it's not a good way to go. So refresh the advantage of how we operate using preferred referrals. So hopefully you found this beneficial. It got a little long-winded, but I wanted to go through the whole process. If you were to call us, this is what we go through. This is what we do. So if you'd like to contact us now, if you want to get out of your timeshare, you've tried to sell, or you owe money and you just want to get out of it, and you watch this and you're interested and you want to move forward, then simply contact us below. We expect you to watch this, so we're not going to be high pressure salesmen, but we expect if you contact us, hey, you're interested, you want to get out, and we'll just call you back at the time you specify. We'll answer any questions that you have. Again, we're not high pressure salesmen. And again, we're up here in Madison, Wisconsin, small companies. So generally speaking, many times you're going to get me on the phone. Again, my name is Jason, or it'll be Larry, or there'll be any of a couple other people in the office, and we do everything, basically ourselves. And then again, we work on preferred referrals, so that's how we can be reasonably priced. So if you found this beneficial, like the video. You're probably watching this on our website. The contact form is below. Feel free to contact us. Have yourself a great day.